experience, obviously with a well-seasoned cast?
Oh, it's been great. My predecessor, Greg Beeman, did this job 4 seasons before me, and I directed 2 episodes for him in season 4. And before that, I was just a fan of the show, and I watched it at broadcast every episode. And so when I got the call to come do it, I was like, yeah, that's great, And I oh, you get the camera. And so I thought, okay, normally when you go into a show, the illusion gets destroyed, and it's not as cool as when you come out. But I'm actually more impressed having gone through it and seen all the work that these guys have put in.
Yeah.
And it was a total blast. It's really cool to go into a show that you're actually a fan of and be able to participate in it. That happens very rarely in our industry, right? And so I enjoyed it very much.
That's great.
How's it going? We're all back. How many of you were here last year?
Yeah, all of us.
WonderCon too.
Yeah, WonderCon.
So what can you tease us about how the evolution of your character for this final season? Because obviously Pope has come a long way from season 1.
It's interesting. That was actually similar to the last question that I was asked, and actually got me to think. Before, when you start something, you're always wondering where'd the guy come from. Bad guy. Now they can use him because he's killing a common foe or enemy to a common foe. And now, I don't see Pope ever going back. I don't think he'd go back to his old life. I think he'd become a farmer and open a deli somewhere. I really do. I just think he's had enough of it. You know what I mean? But there was a lot of talk as in, am I going to end? Does Pope die? If he does, how's he going to die? And if he's going to die, can I pick how he dies? Well, let's talk about all of them. So there was a lot of discussion before the first episode was even shot, where he's going to end up. My personal, what I wanted, I want to go out. I don't want to walk off into the sunset. The guy's got to go. He's got to kill him, man. Let's do it. So the discussion then was, well, if we did that, how would you want to go out? You want to go out like Jimmy Cagney in White Heat on top of the world, ma kaboom? Or do you want it to be something quiet? So you'll have to tune in to find out.
Do you think that
because Comic-Con is kind of it's kind of like a high holy holiday for nerds. So isn't it? It's like our summer camping trip. We can't miss it, right? Yeah, it's true.
So can you talk a little bit about your character's evolution from when you started with the Balm, I believe at the end of season 2, up until now? There's been obviously a lot of change. Mm-hmm. You had a certain agenda when you got there, and then you've obviously morphed into more of the humanity side of the fight. So can you tell us a little bit how Cochise evolved?
Right. Well, as you said, he lands at the end of season 2, and then season 3 is where you really meet him and get to know Cochise. And of course, my mission is quite explained in season 3. I'm here with this other species that has history with the Ishveni. I know about their technology, their whys, why they do what they do, how they've done it before. So, and I have technology to help the humans fight them back, right? So it looks like we're going to save the day. And so we had some snags, because this show is full of snags. And at the end of season 3, the mothership lands from the Volm. My dad's on it, Waschak Cha'ab, played by me also, by the way. Well, that was a schizophrenic day. And when you're playing a scene like this, you go through a makeup change and play a scene like this, and you've got, what's my line again? Yeah, that happens a lot. But it looked like the Volm were coming to sweep away the Ishveni and be done with it at the end of season 3. And then as season 4 opens, the Volm ship is gone. Dad took away to fight other fights in the universe, and Cochise is still here with a small recon team of other Volm reviews. So he's got about 6 of us total, and we're still in contact and using our technology and all, but it's a much scaled down thing. So it's like, okay, the threat's still here. We need to not save the day, and so that upped the stakes on peril is still out there. Well, this season, it's season 4 too. I think what's happened is Cochise has fallen in love with these human beings. they represent something that he's never known before. Love, the word love doesn't. Thank you. The word love doesn't really come into play for the Volm. They're business-minded. They're intellectual. They're not emotional. And Cochise, if there was one poet among the Volm, it would be Cochise, right? So he's tapping into this human thing, like, oh, they take care of each other, they love each other, they have relationships, So Cochise kind of likes this, and that's why he wanted to stay with his new friends. And so against his father's wishes. So season 5 now, episode 4, which is not this Sunday but the following Sunday, big Cochise episode. Okay, where you will see my father land with the mothership again. So Wastak Sha'ab will make a reappearance, also played by me again. And so we're gonna resolve our daddy issues. Which is good. It's and that episode it's a big storyline for me. A lot of work for me, but it's funny. The writers really they've been writing so many funny moments for me this year, and the show does need a laugh or two. It's not a funny show. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So there's but it has a heartwarming end to it. The Cochise and Waschacha father-son thing, the resolve that comes out of this. I'm not going to give anything away, but I'll tell you this. At the end of my final scene in episode 4, it was a scene with Moon, Bloodgood, right, play as Ann Mason. When they finally yelled our final cut on our final take, we hugged each other and cried. Boom. Now you have something to look forward to, okay? Okay. Yeah. That was really quite lovely. Quite lovely. So we're still here. I still care. My dad never understood this allegiance to the humans, and he thinks it's petty because there's bigger fights to fight. So I think if the world is if we're going to win this battle, and if life on Earth continues after the battle is won, right? Cochise wants to be a part of his new friends' lives. I think that's my take on it.
So your character has really evolved from season 1 to now. Obviously, you hate the aliens, but then now you have alien DNA, and there's such a conflict with your character this season. How has it been for you as an actress to play someone that conflicted? Because there seems to be a lot of inner turmoil within you.
Yeah, it's been great. I never know what scene they're going to come up with for the next episode, what direction they're going to take Maggie in, what conflict is she going to face and confronting. And I'm grateful they've done a good job of being pretty thorough with why she makes the choices she makes, and that she really goes deep to make sure that it's a great season for Maggie. It gets even better in the middle of the season.
How has it been, obviously, for you too as well? Because your character, you were resistant at first, and then you guys got together, and then now this whole battle between you and Ben, between Maggie. So how has that been for you, playing that kind of animosity between your brothers?
Well, at the end of the day, Al is just head over heels for Maggie, and as much as he wants to say this, that, or the other, that's just the truth of it. And then the same thing goes for his brother Ben as well. Two of the closest things that Al has in his life are his family and his closest friends and lovers. And so it's quite a conflict that he has going on. And, I tried to play with this thing of, okay, we just have to let it be what it is. I saved her life by putting these spikes in there, and then what ended up happening was that drew her to my brother. So it's sort of my fault. We'll just let it be. But that's easier said than done. And when he sees it over and over and over again, he just has to put it out there once more that, hey, look, here's where I am. If you can be here with me, fantastic. If not, I completely understand. But this is tough.
Yeah.
This is a lively room. I think. Yeah, a lot of people are familiar. Nice.
I've been to every single press room for Falling Skies. I had to come to the final one.
Thank you.
Yeah, love the show.
We can answer whatever questions you want about The Walking Dead.
Yeah. So what zombie are you going to be playing? No, I'm just kidding. So for Anne's character, obviously you've come a long way from season 1. Season 5, the very very beginning of the episode, you think you've lost everyone. You know, you have the 3 boys with you, but you thought you lost your daughter, you lost your husband, and then he comes back and things are crazy. But things have there's a friction between you and Tom now.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about your process of how that was going about when you were?
The friction derives from the fact that Tom has now become, like we were speaking about earlier, desperate. He wants, time is of the essence. We thought the war was over. It didn't end the way we thought. And so now, the clock is ticking and he is filled with rage. That's his whole theme this year. And I think I sort of, offset it with trying to get him to remember this is about your humanity. This is why we've always been human and we're not alien and we have to hold on to those things. So she's there to counter him, as I've always been. Whatever his yin is, I'm his yang. You know what I mean? So that whole, all our dynamic is in the tension that he's kind of gone off the rails and Anne feels like she has to, bring him back to his center. And then that's their dynamic, and I feel the kids feel that way as well about him. But I think he needs to go to that place to get it done. I think it's his full character arc. He needs to get to that place of I'm done. We're gonna win at all costs. Yeah, because it's our life. What we're talking about.
And obviously for your character, there's a huge love triangle going on.
What? They love that love triangle.
Can you talk a little bit about how it's been playing, like the animosity?
It ends very soon.
It ends very soon.
Very, very soon. Mercifully soon.
It's such great comedy.
I was going to say,
Because the 3 of you put on such really great tension.
They do
You can almost feel it on, when you're watching it, you can almost feel that tension between all of you.
To be honest, this is what happened last season. They introduced the story, and we were all like, this is a bad idea. And then they kept doing it, and we kind of we might have even all been in a room together, and we were like, if they're going to keep writing this, we have to try and play it. And we have to try and play it as convincingly as we can. Because otherwise it's just going to seem like so bad. So we, I personally, I felt like we could have ended it last season. I felt like we came to a good place at the end of last season where it wasn't solved, but there was some mutual understanding. And we get to that place again, and there is a very definitive choice, I guess you could say.
Yeah, she does make a choice.
She does make a choice.
Who does she choose?
The fun part about it, I'm mostly joking. The fun part about it was that I got to work with Sarah a lot over the last couple of seasons, who I love and who I'd never interacted with her before, which is another thing. But they were fun scenes to shoot. I can't speak to whether or not it all works as a piece, but it was fun to do.
They committed. They were like, whether we like it or not.
The awkward tension is primo.
Oh, great.
I can feel it.
I did see one scene from the beginning, from episode 1 of this season, where we're all talking in a circle and I say nothing. I'm just nodding, and it's just 45 seconds long of us just standing in silence.
Does it work?
It's awkward.
Exactly.
That's how it would be. It would be awkward.
Yeah.
It's your brother's girlfriend.
Yeah. Super weird. But because at the beginning of last season, it was kind of before she got the spike implant. It was presented more or less as a one-sided crush, and then it kind of became
They
a thing.
push it out more this year. They make you guys all have a better.
But it's still what happens basically is that I take a very particular stand on having the spikes. I went through that whole thing of should I remove them, should I keep them, cost benefit, and now Maggie's going through that this season, and she will keep going through that, and what side she comes out on that question might be different from mine, and that plays into the relationship as well.